Good evening and welcome to the Thursday evening edition of Sports Tonight. My name is Yemi Adebayo. Well, what a day to be talking sports. The day ahead, the day before the big day, that is, we're talking about the crucial AFCON qualifier, African Nations Cup qualifier, Nigeria against Egypt. That will dominate our thoughts tonight on the show. Well, like I said, a lot of things to talk about on the show today. There were the midweek matches in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Some matches played yesterday, some played today as well. We'll be talking about all of that on the show. We'll be talking about the World Cup qualifiers on the continent of Africa. Some matches already played, and also talking about the South American qualifiers for the World Cup. Some matches also will be played later tonight. We'll be talking of all of that for you on the show. There's a lot going on. New development with the Super Eagles. John Mikel Obi has been named the captain of the Super Eagles. Does that come as a surprise to you? Well, you can always let us know how you feel about all of these issues on the show tonight. And of course, it was a sad day for the football family. Dutch legend Johan Cruyff passed away today after losing a battle with lung cancer. It was really a sad one. We'll be talking about that as well for you on the show tonight. Well, let me quickly introduce my partner that starts off the show, Wale Adigo. It's a pleasure to have you with me, Wale.
Yeah, great to be here once again. Been a while, and what a day I'm choosing to be back. A day when football lost a teacher, football lost a legend, football lost a person, and football lost someone with a big legacy. And you have to say that this man, what he's done, will outlive him.
Well, it shows. It will.
It will. He's one of the greatest of all times, one of the best footballers in the world. But you just have to say that he's run his race. At 68, I remember the words of hope he gave a couple of months back. He said he felt he was 2-0 up at halftime against lung cancer. But guess what? Lung cancer equalized and
won the game.
Won the game. But you have to say that he's done his bit, and he's so rest in peace.
All right, well, at 68, he's gone, but memories will live on. The man who was known as the apostle of total football, he has done a lot, and of course, it will live long in our minds. All right, like I said, a lot to talk about on the show tonight. Let's bring you into all of this. It's going to be very exciting all the way. At some point, we hope to be joined by the Super Eagles media officer. Is there something you want to talk to him about? Is there a question you would like to ask him? This is how you can do that on the show tonight. You can give your opinion to issues raised on this program to the following mechanisms. On Facebook, it is Channels-Sports, and of course on Twitter, it is at Channels_Sports. That's how you can get your views, your thoughts across to us on the show. So speak up and be heard. Well, it gets better. By now, you know you can catch up with all the latest stories all around the world, not just sports, everything. All our top stories can be found on channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device, talking about your iPad, your iPhone, and your BlackBerry. It also gets better because you can download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And that means you can carry Channels television with you anywhere you go. And why must you do that? You should do that so that you don't miss out on all of the things that we have on offer for you on Channels television. Well, let's go back to the issues that we will be talking about on the show this lovely evening. Let me quickly ask you, Wale. I know the Super Eagles media officer will talk about that, and we're going to get a lot of views on Twitter. But the news, how did it hit you? How did you take it that John Mikel Obi is now the Super Eagles captain? Did this surprise you? Were you expecting it?
I was surprised. I was very, very surprised, especially coming on the eve of a big game. And I thought this was a needless distraction.
Okay.
My thoughts genuinely, and I thought that this is one thing that shouldn't have happened. This announcement should have been made after the game against Egypt in Kaduna and Alexandria. Not forgetting the fact that I've got a game also coming through next week, Tuesday, away from home. And let's see how the boys react to this one. I mean, the rest of the boys. But the choice of words used in this announcement is what I'm not comfortable with.
Okay.
Ahmed Musa talking about him not deserving the captaincy. I'm really shocked at that. What was he thinking when he got it from under Sunday?
Okay.
Didn't he know he was not deserving or undeserving then?
Okay.
Stories that Samson Siasi also requested that he drop the captaincy for John Mikel Obi also has to be questioned. I don't know why the manager will be doing that on the eve of a big game.
Well, your thoughts, but you know, in this past, the tradition of the team, most people say the most senior player. But
I don't really agree with that. I think that there shouldn't be a certain parameter or barometer for knowing who's captain. The question is Mikel Obi a captain material? Okay. We should be asking ourselves.
Time.
I think coaches. That's why I say I agree with you.
Yeah, I want us to be careful so that it doesn't look as if we're already taking a position. But that's what the handlers of the Super Eagles want, and so we'll move on from there. And like Wale said, we just hope that it doesn't backfire on the eve of a very, very big game. But well, John Mikel Obi has been congratulated by his team. A swift reaction to the news, as expected.
Yeah, it's a big achievement for John Mikel Obi. Like you said, it's the longest serving member of the team, but that is another thing entirely. Fantastic Chelsea spot on with that one. But how long does he keep it? That's the question. We know that Samson Siasi is on an interim one. Will he be an interim captain? We need to wait to see and see if we have a new coach, if he's staying with John Mikel Obi, but also John Mikel Obi also needs to send a message, and that message must be shown tomorrow, how he carries the team. I think the way he carries himself, his courage around the team shows that he can lead, but also we know that leaders, some are born to lead, some are not. Some are leaders who lead silently, and some are vocal leaders. We'll get to see how John Mikel Obi performs over 2 legs, but it's important that also that Mikel Obi posts a very good performance, because on a day when we need to win, on a day when there's pressure, you can't afford not to deliver.
Your star player has to show up.
Yes, you have to show up, and it will be important to see how Ahmed Musa also reacts to tomorrow's game. He's been talking about the fact that he met with a couple of his Super Eagles players who told him that he had to drop it. I'm not so comfortable with all of this. If this had happened a week before, fine, but this is coming just hours before a game. You change captaincy. I wonder how this will pan out, because if this backfires,
yeah, we'll have nobody to blame but ourselves. But usually I love to focus on the game as it is played on the field, and I think that's what everybody should.
That's the problem we have. See, the focus will have been on who starts tomorrow, but now we're talking about the captaincy. Okay. That is why I felt this should have been announced today. We should have been talking about the team, talking about selection, talking about how we plot that way, how we chart that course to beating agents. But right now we're talking about something unnecessary, captaincy.
Okay, all right.